Welcome to the stream. This topic discussion with my dear friend Kit from Chicago Reacts. We are gathered here today to discuss the topics that you see above us. So it's gonna be a very interesting show, hopefully. And we are ready to kick ass. Hi,
Ab-
Kit.
Absolutely. As first of all, it's really good to be back on your show again. And as always, I got to say, you have been really laying down the fire on the hypocrisy of Games Workshop, overall, how it's treating its fans. I think there's a massive pushback. And I, for one, salute it because we really need to make our voices heard, especially as consumers. Because, look, you obviously, studios, corporations, they control their IPs, but how are people going to be consuming the product or either that supporting said intellectual property if you're giving them the middle finger? Because if I'm going to be disrespected, I'm going to walk away. That's what I'm going to do. So I just wanted to give you a salute for that. Job well done.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm doing whatever I can because, people are like divided. They are either, oh my gosh, we're going to quit the hobby, quit Warhammer, we're going to go to something else. Or they're like, we're just gonna stand here and fight because if we don't, the other crowds are just gonna take our hobby that they don't even know the first thing about. So if you want our love to be alive, our
Hmm.
love being that Warhammer in this case, we gotta defend it. It's the same thing with all the other universes that got ruined, like Doctor Who, Marvel, DC kinda in the comic books. So yeah, we just gotta make our voices heard and not be like, oh, I'm just gonna leave that universe. Because why? I mean, people are to blame, not the universe itself. The universe is the
Hmm.
victim, it's the same way that we are victims as fans.
Yep. And look, 40K fans, take notes from the Lord of the Rings fans. We're going to be talking about that later too. But we all care about the product and we're all inclusive. We want people, everyone, to enjoy and have fun. But when you get to a point to where you're trying to recreate or trying to paint or try and remake the Mona Lisa, yeah, there are people who could probably do it, but is it like the original? Is it that original work of art? And we've seen people try and restore works of art and end up messing up terribly. So, Games Workshop, treat your fans with respect. Obviously, yes, you're going to introduce new things, but if you're going to just systematically disrespect the history, what's the incentive for people to stay if you're going to make it confusing? Look what they did to Halo. Look what they did to Star Wars, Star Trek, all of it. Will those properties one day recover? If said owners respect the fans. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. We respect, whatever we have to respect, and they respect us. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
company we are talking about, and they respect us, and it's all good. I mean, it's not rocket science. You just do the common sense thing, the integrity thing, and we all win. It's no brainer,
Mhm.
really. Okay, so we have
Precisely.
first topic, Stand Strong Sister at Arms. Oh, thank you so much. That's Mike Peterson, the first guy in the comments. Hi to you, and welcome to the live stream. So, first
And be sure
topic
to hit
is.
that like button.
Oh,
I
yes.
just said hit that like button, folks.
Yes, thank you for that, kid. So, first topic is Strange Crusade attacked already. And I don't know if you saw the tweets. It's kind of a mess. I mean, Twitter. I don't really like Twitter, guys. It's such a mess. There is a post here, then there's like, it's messy. I wish they make it a bit more understandable, but that's another topic. It seems that a lot of people just jumped on this game that is a tabletop game. It has a pretty cool story, how hell attacked Earth, and then something with the church happened, and yeah, people are trying to survive, and it looks like Warhammer. It looks like freaking Warhammer. The aesthetic is so much so as Warhammer that I pretty much thought that is Warhammer first when I saw the pictures of it. And for some reason, people attacked it from both sides and trying to pull the rug towards their direction, so to speak. And everybody were like, this is this and this is that. And I'm like, what is happening here? Just a tabletop game. You don't need to be like, this is totally not woke or this is woke or what is happening here. Did you see that?
Well, I actually have been reading a little bit on it, and look, obviously there's been many games that have been confused as being Warhammer 40K. So, I mean, for those who are of the Warhammer fandom, I mean, you obviously know what's Warhammer 40K and what's not. And when you're trying to create something new, you want to have some buzz around it. I could see the similarities, but I wouldn't be jumping down its throat because what you're trying to steal Warhammer 40K. Like everybody knows the difference. But I'm looking at it and I just think it looks pretty fun. Yeah, you're dealing with monsters and demons, and clearly I wouldn't want to be alone with any of the vile entities that are trying to attack humanity. But overall, what's the other side saying? What are they accusing trench warfare of doing?
Oh, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, literally, some people are saying that it's based, which is the cool thing because we're trying to be based, of course, the opposite of woke. And some people are saying, but it is Christian something, and why is it this and that? I mean, it was such a mess, honestly.
Oh, I get it. They're saying like it's Christian fundamentalism or it's trying to hype up the church or anything of that nature. Okay, well, you know, folks, obviously if you're setting something in an alternate timeline, I'm pretty sure the owners are not trying to promote any kind of political ideology or religious ideology. It's like the same thing with Helldivers, where Helldivers got attacked because there were critics saying that it's promoting fascism or it's giving a twisted form of democracy. I'll explain it simply to those who lack functioning brain cells. It's called a game. You turn your brain off and you pretend to be something, and then once you're done playing, you go back out there into the dreary real world where everything sucks, okay? Where you got to pay bills and pay taxes and deal with everyone's BS, okay? It's called a game. Everybody calm down and have fun. You don't have to take it too seriously, just have fun. So I'm looking at the art and I'm even looking at the Twitter account, and it looks pretty awesome. Plus, for anyone that's really upset at the Knights Templar or Knights Hospitaller, I said that wrong. Sorry for the stutter. These were actual factions in antiquity during the Dark Age, during the Middle Ages. Just because something looks offensive, you can't erase history, okay? It's there. You learn from it. Obviously, there were bad people throughout all the history of time. You learn from the past and you move on. And sometimes when people make games or entertainment or books, we get a lot of our inspiration from the past. Game of Thrones, for example. The original story between House Stark and House Lannister was based off the War of the Roses, which was a horrific conflict that impacted the Kingdom of England for, I think, over like maybe 50, 60 plus years. I'm probably wrong on that, but it was a war that lasted for some time, and people died. Game of Thrones was inspired a little bit by it. Or use it at how Tolkien, he wrote Lord of the Rings and that entire world and series through his experience in the trenches in World War I. People are apt to forget that he was a soldier. Was he promoting war and tyranny? No, he was actually promoting peace and understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my doggy is barking, so you talk. But yeah, that's totally the case. I don't know why everyone has to think that because something is fictional, it's not fictional. Like, what is the freaking logic in that? Why are we assuming stuff?
Well,
Can I
what it
just think
is,
about things as a writer? Can I just make stuff up? Like I'm
well,
supposed to?
what it is you have people who are extremely petty, and you have people who look at something new and they want to interject. Once something new enters the human mindset or our realm of entertainment, you're always going to have those critics. Let's say for those in the Warhammer fandom side, I could see where a lot of people say, well, this looks like Warhammer, you're stealing it. Okay, well, a lot of things can be viewed as Warhammer, but they're not. Take, for example, Event Horizon, the film. People can joke about and say, well, that's like a film that's set in Warhammer 40K. Maybe yes, maybe no. It's a bit of a stretch. Or let's say, take for example, StarCraft. You know for a fact StarCraft took the Space Marines from the Astartes, the Zerg from the Tyranids, the Protoss maybe from the Eldar. Simple as that. And anything like. But even then, Games Workshop took inspiration and ideas from Frank Herbert's Dune and other science fiction series. So it's a two-way street. Sometimes things do look the same, unfortunately, but if they do, well, then it's up to the writers to really differentiate themselves from said products. It's a messy world out there when it comes to intellectual properties or games, but to the other side that's offended by what Christian orders or something from the papacy, well, check out real life, because real life can be just as brutal. I mean, science fiction and fantasy is one thing, but when you look at our history, not only just in Europe, but all over the world, and the organizations and empires that existed before, they were just as brutal. Where do you think we get the inspiration from all these fictional empires or tyrants? It's because we actually have people who were far, far worse in human history.
Oh yeah, but my point was that it seems like in today's times, Some people just cannot grasp the idea that a writer can just come up with its own universe, so whether that be inspired by something else or not, and it always has to mean something else. Sometimes it just doesn't. They just take, writers just take concepts from different forms of literature, let's say, or real life, and they just mix everything up and create their own thing. So why do we have to assume that it's whatever it is, actually? I just take it as fiction, firstly, and then we are going to get to further dissect it when we get to know it, because this game is not even out to begin with,
There's also the fact of, the internet is a place where people can make themselves a micro or minuscule celebrity, okay? If you build enough of a social media following, that does boost up people's egos, and people kind of want to make things about themselves. So why they would go after a video game or something that hasn't even come out yet, it's probably to get the clicks and views and clout. There's a lot of people who just say things, and then of course there's this mindset of people jumping on the bandwagon. That's how people act all the time, and it's nothing new. It's been done before, but I think we should criticize and call out these people who are just, oh, I hate this because I hate it. Well, if it hasn't come out yet, why do you hate it? All right, you have to make an educated decision. When I see a book or a movie coming out, I will make the educated decision of whether or not I should spend my money to read it or watch a movie or play a game. Because I have to make that choice. I'm not going to have somebody else tell me, hey, this is going to suck. Now, I've had people say, well, this thing sucks. Well, all right, let's just see how bad it is, and I'll spend my time, my money, just to see how bad or good it is, because that person could be wrong. It's called using your judgment. It's called using critical thinking. And we've lost that in this day and age because of social media, because people want to be part of a group. I think people are generally good. Put them in groups, then they become bad.
Yeah, well, if you don't form your own opinion, you can be very easily swayed by others. And we have seen that.
And that's happened to me before, where, I've made some horrible decision because when I was part of a group or either that, I had a decision made for me. And, it happens to us all. We've all been, I guess, a victim of it or fallen for that trap. And we can, so long as you have your ability to be a critical thinker and to separate yourself from the drama, you're going to be fine. I'm looking forward to reading the lore. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of trailers and books about it. So we will see. I will make that decision, as should everybody else. And I expect everyone else that's watching this show to make your own decision as well. Like, decide, what do you think about it? Before anyone else starts blaming it or saying that it's wrong. Use your brain cells, folks. I know it's a controversial thing, but come on, just use your brain. Just think. There's a reason why it's up there.
Yeah, a bit more objectivity, a bit less preconceived notions or something based on I don't know what by this point. Because, like, imagine if Warhammer just came out now and not almost 40 years ago. I imagine the outrage and the screams and all those things. But okay, it's very good to have another alternative to Warhammer in general, just to have something. Because if GW are a monopoly, like I think that they are, I mean, there's no one really to rival their scale in terms of tabletop gaming, then why not have something else that looks very promising on the horizon?
Look, make your own choice, make your own decision, and have fun. Okay, folks, time is short, life is precious. Don't hate everything. There's things that I don't like, but guess what? If I don't like it, I just look away and I don't pay it any more mind. All right, it exists. But there are bigger fish for me to fry than how people feel on social media. Same thing for with everything, with the drama that's going on with Games Workshop. Sooner or later, they're going to realize don't mess with the fans. And for this Trench Crusade group, the people who are making this game, have fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing it in its full completion so I can make my own decision.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The 40K Empress teaches fitness, health, nutrition, and helps with your intimate relationships at OnlyFans. Yes, I know what you're thinking, but she doesn't use it for Slanesh things. Go there and let her help you with what you truly need. The link is down below in the description dimension. Go on, click the link. I'd know if you didn't. I see you.